Ever get that feeling like something's just off?
Mm.
Like, a piece of the puzzle is missing?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Well, today we're looking at two cases
Mm-hmm.
that are going to leave you feeling exactly like that.
Okay.
Stories that'll make you wonder not just who did it, but how things could go so wrong.
Interesting.
First up is the disappearance of Nadia Cole.
Okay.
So, picture this. 21 years old, just graduated college,
Right.
about to go on a trip to Italy with her family to celebrate.
Yeah.
They're at the airport, just about to board,
Hmm?
and then, poof, she's gone.
Wow.
But it's not like she just walked off.
What do you mean?
She left all her stuff at the gate,
Oh, that's strange.
and people saw her leaving the airport looking really distressed.
So right away, something seems wrong.
It's like something out of a movie, right?
Yeah, totally.
And then there's Aaron Ang, her fiancé.
Okay.
Everyone thought he was on a camping trip in Montana with his daughter, Soraya, who's 2. But now they think he might have taken both Nadia and Soraya and gone to Mexico.
Hold on. So the timeline's all messed up.
Yeah.
First, Nadia disappears from the airport. Then Aaron doesn't show up for custody exchange with Soraya's mom.
Right.
And now the FBI is involved. There's a whole international manhunt going on. It's crazy.
And Soraya's mother, Samara, is begging for her daughter to be returned safely.
That's heartbreaking.
It really is.
But the big question is why? What's the motive here?
I know, right?
There are tons of theories flying around, but nothing's solid. Did Nadia go willingly with Aaron? Was she forced? Did they plan this, or did something happen that made them run?
And what about Soraya?
Ugh,
She's stuck in the middle of all this.
it's just awful.
You know what gets me, though?
What?
If Nadia wanted to disappear, why wait till she was at the airport with her family?
That is weird.
Wouldn't it make more sense to, vanish before that?
Yeah, doesn't add up.
Maybe something happened at the airport, like, I don't know, a phone call or something that scared her.
Iggy.
It really makes you think. One minute, you're excited for a trip. The next, you're caught up in something dangerous.
Definitely.
It could happen to anyone.
It's a reminder that life can be unpredictable, for sure.
Okay, so let's move on to our second case.
All right.
This one's tough to talk about.
Okay.
It involves the murder of a 3-year-old boy, Julian Wood.
Oh, no.
He was stabbed to death outside a grocery store in Ohio while his mother was loading groceries into the car.
That's horrible.
I know, it's just awful.
And to make it even worse, the attacker, Bianca Ellis, she was caught on camera following Julian and his mom around the store before she attacked.
So it wasn't random.
No, it was planned. And that makes it even more disturbing.
And then there's how she acted in court. She was smiling and giggling when they read the charges, including aggravated murder.
Really?
It's chilling.
Yeah, I can see why that would be unsettling.
So what was going on in her head? Right.
It's tough to say for sure. But she did have a history of mental health problems and some run-ins with the law. In fact, she even confessed to another murder at one point, though the police didn't believe her then.
So there were warning signs.
Definitely.
And here's the thing that makes it even more complicated.
What's that?
Bianca had been referred for a mental health evaluation, but she was released from custody just days before the attack.
Wow.
So could Julian's death have been prevented if she had gotten the help she needed?
That's the question that haunts everyone, especially Julian's family.
It makes you think about those what-if moments in your own life.
Yeah, like times when maybe you could have done something differently.
What if you'd reached out to a friend who was struggling, or noticed a family member who seemed down?
Right, those moments where you think, maybe if I'd done something, things would be different.
It's a powerful reminder that sometimes we have a chance to prevent bad things from happening.
Absolutely. It's about recognizing those opportunities and taking action when we can. These cases really force us to look at the connection between mental health and, public safety.
Yep.
When people who need mental health help don't get it, it can be tragic for everyone involved.
It's easy to get angry thinking about what could have been done differently, but it's the human side of these stories that sticks with me.
Right.
The families who are left behind trying to make sense of it all.
These aren't just stories we hear on the news.
Yeah.
These are real people whose lives have been changed forever because of these terrible things.
Going back to Nadia's case,
Okay.
if Aaron did take her and Soraya to Mexico, what happens then?
Well, things get complicated when you're dealing with international law.
How so?
Bringing someone back from another country to face charges, that's extradition.
Hmm.
And it involves a lot of treaties and legal stuff and diplomacy.
Sounds like a mess.
It can be, and when a child is involved, it becomes even more urgent. The FBI would have to work with Mexican authorities, but there's no guarantee it'll be quick.
I bet that's frustrating for the families.
Definitely.
They just want answers and their loved ones back.
This case shows how connected the world is. One minute it's a local story, the next it's international.
It's kind of scary, honestly.
It highlights the need for countries to work together in these situations.
So let's talk about the psychology of these cases.
Okay.
Bianca's behavior in court, the smiling and giggling, that was really disturbing.
I understand why you'd find that unsettling.
Why would someone act like that in such a serious situation?
Mental illness can show itself in many ways, and how someone acts in court can depend on a lot of things: their diagnosis, medication, if they understand what's happening.
Oh,
For some people, laughing or smiling might be a way to cope with stress.
so it's not necessarily that they don't care.
Exactly. Mental illness can affect how someone thinks and acts.
So it's important to have mental health experts involved in these cases.
Absolutely.
Makes you realize that you have to approach these situations with some understanding.
Definitely.
Mental illness is a serious thing. It's not a choice.
Right. It needs treatment and support.
And that brings us back to prevention.
Yeah.
With Bianca, there were so many missed opportunities.
What do you mean?
She had those warning signs, but she didn't get the help she needed.
So it makes you wonder if things could have been different.
These cases also make you question how our justice system deals with mental illness.
How so?
How do you keep people safe, but also make sure those with mental illness get the help they need?
It's a tough balance. It requires a lot of different approaches.
Like what?
We need more mental health resources, better training for police and judges on how to handle these situations.
And we have to change how we think about mental illness.
Right. It's not something to be ashamed of. It's something that needs support.
And it's not just up to the justice system. It's on all of us.
Yeah, everyone has a part to play in making our community safer and more understanding.
Thinking about the families affected by these cases,
Yeah.
it must be so painful for them.
They're going through so much, and they often feel lost in the system.
It's a reminder that justice isn't just about punishing the guilty. It's also about helping those who have been hurt.
Exactly. It's about acknowledging the impact these crimes have and supporting the victims.
So it's about understanding that these tragedies affect everyone and working to prevent them in the future.
We need to focus on mental well-being and create a society that's more just and caring.
These cases, it's like peeling back layers of an onion, you know?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
The more you look, the more you realize how much you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes what you find, it's not pretty.
You're talking about human nature and how our systems can fail sometimes.
Exactly.
It's true. These cases bring up a lot of those uncomfortable truths.
And they tap into some of our deepest fears, right?
Oh, absolutely.
The fear of the unknown, losing someone you love, becoming a victim.
It's scary stuff.
And that's why true crime, when it's done right,
Yeah.
can be more than just entertainment.
Right. It makes you think.
It starts conversations about important issues,
Like what kinds of things?
like mental health, problems with the system, how we can be better as individuals.
These cases make us question what's going on in our own communities.
Yeah.
Are we doing enough to help people with mental health issues?
Right.
Are the police prepared to handle these kinds of situations?
And are we, as individuals, paying attention?
Are we noticing when someone needs help?
It's like a wake-up call. We all have a part to play in making things safer,
Exactly.
whether it's speaking up for better mental health care, supporting victims, or just being more aware.
We can all do something.
And that's the big takeaway here.
What's that?
We're not just watching this happen.
Right.
We're part of it. Our choices, our actions, they make a difference.
So what do you want our listeners to take away from all this?
Stay informed, stay engaged, and don't be afraid to speak up.
Good advice.
Have those difficult conversations, challenge the way things are, demand better for yourselves and your communities.
I like that, demanding better.
And keep learning, do your research, find out what resources are available, talk to people who are working to make a difference.
Knowledge is power, right.
Exactly. The more we understand these problems, the better we can solve them.
And remember, you're not alone in this.
We're all in this together.
We'll keep digging into these stories, exploring the complexities, trying to find the truth.
Stay curious, stay informed, and stay connected.
Until next time, keep those minds sharp and those hearts open.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll be back soon with more stories and discussions.
Looking forward to it.
Until then, Take care. And remember, even when things seem dark, there's always hope for a better future.